Welcome to Psychic Connection, Collaboration over Competition. Today, I have a different format for my show. This show is dedicated to my first book, Believe, Do You? A Psychic Medium's Journey. It's about self-exploration, beliefs, truth, love, intuition, and connection with loved ones who passed away. My book is available on Valentine's Day. Yes, the day we honor love, which is an important theme in my book. You can now pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. My book can be purchased as an ebook or a paperback. You can go directly to my website, www.radingsbyphyllis.com, and click on a button to purchase it. Or you can go directly to Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Please celebrate with me February 12th from 7 to 8 p.m. on Instagram Live for my book launch. I will be hosting with my friend Carrie. I'll talk about my book with a Q&A as well. I'll also answer questions from viewers using my psychic abilities. So please send a question in. And for the finale, I'll have a drawing of the winners who entered the contest. Please look at my Instagram posts and my stories for contest rules. Prizes will be free books and free readings. Let's celebrate together. Now, let's get back to the show. My book is dedicated to my family, and also your family, and all families. I'd like to introduce you to some of my family to start. I ask each one of them the same 2 questions. Please listen to their answers, and afterwards, please think of how you would answer. This is my husband, James Mitchell, although I call him Mitch. And it's funny because when I say Mitch, some people think, oh, is his name Mitch Mitchell? But no, it's actually James. So my husband and I, we've been married for 30 years. Time sure flies. So let's start, and I will ask you the first question. What do you believe is your truth about yourself?
My truth about myself. I believe in hard work to get what you want. I believe in setting goals and reaching for those, but working hard for them. I like to have nice things, not growing up with a lot of nice things. I strive for nice things in our family's life. I like to help others and help my family achieve their dreams. And I think I try and be a good person all around.
Well, I can vouch for all of that. Yes. So that definitely defines you. I think you described yourself very well. So the second question is, how do you define love?
I think love, or I define love as like your entire lifetime, starting with birth, your first view or first feelings of love come from your parents. And as you grow up, your parents teach you about love through their methodology of love. And then you learn to love yourself. And then without loving yourself, you can't go out and love someone else in the world. So you have to learn to love yourself, then get out and you can find love for yourself and begin to share that love with others. As we become parents, you can spread that love to your children, to the rest of your family. And I just look at love as it's an eternal thing, from cradle to grave and beyond. And that's it's a beautiful thing. Friends, family, from grandparents and everyone around you, but it all goes back to your family and your friends.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I very much appreciate your answers, and thank you for defining love, and thank you for loving me, and I love you.
I do love you.
So it's my pleasure to introduce you to my brother, Billy Hackett. Hi, Billy. It's my brother. Maybe you see the resemblance. A lot of people tell us that we do look alike.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. So I will start out with, what do you believe is your truth about yourself?
About myself, I have a high regard for integrity, honesty, and loyalty. They're extremely important to me. I despise lying. I don't lie to anyone. I'm open and honest, and that's been my philosophy. And I believe in the philosophy of live and let live. You know, do what you want, and I do what I want, as long as we don't interfere or harm each other. I believe in family unity and closeness with family, and that includes your family and my family. That's very important to me. I think it should be very important to everyone, and that's been of interest to me and importance to me over the years. That's basically all I can tell you about that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I dedicate my book to family. So
Okay.
family is very important to me as well. And I think part of it is, I think mommy and daddy raised us, that way to be close with our family, and we continue to do so. And I feel
They did. And I think our father, was a big influence also,
Yeah.
as well as our mother. But my father, lived on a farm.
Right.
They're very close relationship in the farm environment. They worked together, they ate
Yeah.
together, they slept together, they did things
Right. Yeah.
together. And I think that was carried over, to us as children, and taught us how to be, our brother's keeper, and
Yeah.
share things, and a close relationship with each other. So
Yeah.
that became very important. I think it was carried on throughout the years.
Yeah. And right, I try to teach my kids, and I know you teach your kids, and we all, are very close that way.
Well, I did, and I do teach them one thing. I've always, even when they're children, I said, "Don't lie to me." I said, "Tell me the truth. You'd be better off if you tell me the truth. I just want to know." And they've always been doing that. They've continued to do that. So
Yeah.
I think it's the best policy for me anyway. I know
agree
it's
with
it's kind of outdated today, as you can see, because it's not the right thing to do, but it's important to me.
It's important to me as well. So that's something we share. My next question is, how do you define love?
I define love as love is an inner feeling, and it could be love is an expression. It could be relationship with a person, not necessarily. It can be your wife, your girlfriend, your son, your children, your spouse, whatever. But it does vary. But it's a passion that you may have, but it's felt internally. You feel it internally,
Right.
and it could apply to a person, as I said. Could be a landscape. You could have a passion or love. You have a talent. You can be a good singer, an entertainer, a dancer, or a hobby you may have that you have a love or passion for. It could be religion, music, sports, things like that. That's how I define that. And it's something that you're passionate about.
Right.
I think everyone needs it. I think it's essential for everybody. Everybody looks for it. They look for love, and that's how they obtain satisfaction within themselves.
Yeah.
That's my impression, my interpretation of what love is.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And it's interesting because people have their own interpretations, but sometimes, their different thoughts kind of overlap. So.
They probably all feel the same thing, but in a different way. That's all.
Different ways. Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you.
You're welcome.
My brother.
Anytime.
Yes. And speaking of love, I love you very much. And I really appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you, giving your thoughts and opinions. So now I am going to introduce you to my sister-in-law, Fran Hackett. Hi, Franny. I do write quite a bit about Franny in my book. So now here you can see who Franny actually is and what she looks like. And I will start with asking her my first question. And that is, what do you believe is your truth about yourself?
I really think the most important thing is that I'm an unconditional person, no matter who I meet, no matter who I'm related to. I'm unconditional. I think that's the biggest thing about me.
Okay. So unconditional, meaning, you know,
It means that
elaborate a little bit on
it means,
unconditional.
it means that as a person, um, everybody has negatives, everybody has positives. So when the negatives arise, yeah, I look at it as what it is, and I evaluate it for myself as how I can make it a positive, and move on. See the good in the person rather than dwell on the negative.
On the negative. Yeah. That's very,
That's
very
clear,
true.
but
That's very true about you. I can vouch for that. You definitely take the positives with the negatives and focus on
it's
the
not
positive.
even thought about. I mean, it's just the way it is with me.
It comes natural to you.
Yeah, that's a natural part of me that you're asking me to think about who I am. And when I'm faced with that, that's what I think. I don't know if it's true, but
Well, I can vouch for it. I agree. I think you're very much like that.
I hope so. I try to be anyway.
Yes, and I very much appreciate it, and I know plenty of people do as well. So next question: how do you define love?
It's funny because I thought about this and a long time ago, and I was in college at the time, and we were asked as students to define that, and I still believe it. Of course, it was a theology class, so not to make it religious, but I always felt love is a very effortless. We have no control over it, whether we want to love or we don't want to love in the situation. We have no control. It just is. And that's what, when I said, I think God, whoever God is to everybody, is love. That's the force that you can't control. That's the force that is so strong,
Right.
either a positive or a negative thing as far as what the situation is. You just can't control it.
Right.
You just have to live through it. And whether it's good or whether it's not good, you still have no choice. You're living through it. You have no control over that energy. And that's what I think. I think God is love.
God is love. Thank you very much, Franny. I love you. So
I love you too.
So I very much appreciate it. Everyone, I'd like to introduce you to my nephew, Brian Hackett, who I do write about in my book. He is one who loves getting his cards read, and I'm very grateful. And there is a story about him in the book. So Brian, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Hello. Happy to be here.
Yeah, great. I can see it. I love that smile. And that, yeah. So the first question I want to ask you is, what do you believe is your truth about yourself?
I think what my truth about myself is that I think it was almost like a type of calling or something, something natural that came to me what to do in my career. Because when I was in college, and it was really interesting how this kind of happened, I wound up being an RA. That's a resident assistant in a college dorm where people would come to me with like different problems, and I didn't know what that was really, why people were coming to me, and I just naturally was very comfortable and actually just did very well, just helping people get through different difficulties or just guiding them or just listening to them.
Right.
And I really realized, I guess, how approachable I am um, to others. And, and a lot of people will tell me even more so then and now that, I just have something about me that is natural, that they feel just talking to me about a lot of things are opening up to me.
You're a magnet. You're a magnet. People are drawn to you.
Yeah, stuff like that. And that, again, that wasn't something that I sought out to do. And as a child, as you know, I was more shy. I was not
Right.
very, confident in going to meet new people, or even going into a store or something. Like that wasn't really me. So that kind of like came out a lot of that. It was just something that I wasn't trying to do. It naturally just
Mhm.
came to me. So I think that
Right.
was just a big one. And then, as you know, in my career, I went into and I pursued full counseling, getting my license, and and I also recently, pursued getting something in drug and addiction coaching. So
Right.
it's just something that's natural to me, and it just, again, it wasn't something I sought out or thought, or even in a million years thought I'd be doing. It just is
Right.
natural,
And
and it
then it
grew.
was. Right.
Yeah.
And now you're a guidance counselor as well.
Yep. Yep.
Right.
At a
Yeah.
school, and then also just doing mental health. So it
Right.
just all kind of fit together, and it was, again,
Right.
just something that was my own, about me. It was my own quality. It was just something that
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel it's something I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. You were drawn to servicing other
Yeah.
people,
Yep.
helping other people. Yeah. So, okay, great. Now, for the next question, how do you define love?
Love is pretty simple for me. Love is God. I feel that God is love. I feel there is good and evil, and I think God is love, and God is unconditional love.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
So that's your epitome, I guess, of
Yep.
definition of love.
Yeah,
Good.
pure and simple.
Great.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Brian, for sharing your thoughts with us. I loved your answers, and I loved how you explained everything. So I really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
thank you. Hi, Sal. I want to introduce Sal to everyone. This is Sal, my brother-in-law. Sal is my sister's husband, and I do write about him quite a bit in my book. So, Sal, I'd like to ask you the first question that I've been asking everyone. What do you believe is your truth about yourself?
The truth about myself.
Yes.
That's a hard one.
It is.
Okay, but I do believe the truth about myself is what I feel that has happened in my life is that I've changed definitely from what I was to what I am today. So that's the truth in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Difference is I'm more secure with speaking. I wouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think the big difference is that I do care what people say, but they don't affect me as much.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. But
Right.
I think that's the major.
The major ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
about yourself. Okay. The second question is, how do you define love?
I'm going to say there is no definition, no exact definition for love,
Mhm.
because love encompasses so many things.
True.
It encompasses, what is the love you have for your mate?
Mhm.
What is the love you have for your children?
Mhm.
What is the love you have for your parents?
Mhm. Yeah.
They are, each one is a different type of love. And
Mhm.
how about some friends?
Sure.
Though I don't know if we use the word too often,
Mhm.
because how many things can one thing depict? How about your love for, what is your favorite food? Oh, I love,
Right.
yeah. So you can keep going on and on and on. So my thing is, definition for love is which type of love you're talking about.
Okay. And right. And there are many types of love. Yeah.
Yes.
For different people. Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, I'd like to say, definitely coming from my heart, I do love you. You're
And
a very
the
special.
feeling is mutual, I hope.
Yes. Yeah. As part of my family, and yeah, love of family is very
Yeah.
important as well.
Yes,
right? So,
or without a doubt.
yeah. So I want to thank you for answering the questions.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. Thanks,
you.
Sal.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you.
Hi, Danielle. I want to introduce Danielle to everyone. This is my niece, Danielle, my sister Pat's daughter. Hello. So yes, I definitely write about Danielle in my book. So you will find her in my book. Yes. Alrighty, Danielle, so I'm going to ask you your first question. Your first question is, what do you believe is your truth about yourself?
All right, so I did a lot of thinking about this question. Took me a while. Wasn't even sure what the question meant, to be honest.
Okay.
So I did the best I could. And I think my truth about myself, I struggled because I think I used to worry about what other people used to say about me, think about me. And I didn't really know what the truth about myself was because I worried about what other people's truth about me was. But I think I've come to a conclusion as I've gotten older that I believe I'm a good person. I'm a compassionate person. I'm a caring person. I would try and help anybody who needs it. And my family is my family and they come first, and anything I need to do, I would do for them. And I don't really worry about what other people think about what I choose to do anymore or how I choose to do it. It's my choice, and I think I make the right choice as best as I can, or the choice that I think is right at the moment.
Mhm.
So I think that's the truth about myself that I've taken a while to figure out. And I'm still working on the truth about myself because I'm still trying to find myself even at this age. And especially trying to fill big shoes from my mom, who
Yeah,
had the most compassion I've ever seen in this world, and cared
Very
about
true.
everybody, made everybody feel like they were the number one special person in her life. So still
Mhm.
working on that, but hopefully I'll get there one day.
Oh, you will. You're definitely filling your mom's shoes. I think you're a lot like your mom. And I can vouch for everything that you said. Yes, you're extremely compassionate, very loving, help anyone. Family is very important. And interesting though, these topics do come up in the book too. So I think, also too, because we are family, we were raised, especially with your mom and me with your mom and my parents with some good values. And yeah, I agree. It took me a long time to find myself. And I agree with you too. I think we're always evolving and still kind of finding ourselves, but it's wonderful to finally accept who you are and not worry about what other people think. And that's not easy to do. Yeah. So are you ready for your second question?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, so how do you define love?
I don't know. I thought that was a crazy question because not sure how to define a feeling.
Yeah, it's a feeling. Yeah.
So I think love to me is a strong feeling of caring about someone and caring about what's important around you. And I think the stronger the feeling is, the more love you realize you have.
Mhm.
And I think it's something that you feel within your heart and your soul. And when it's there, you just know it's love. It's hard to express it, but it's just something that the caring is just so strong that you just know it's some kind of a love that's never going to go away. It's there through eternity. And I think that's just the best I could describe love, because I don't think it's describable. It's kind of more of a feeling than a description, but
Well, I think you did an excellent job. You did an excellent job with it. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful what you said. And I think it's, really, it's an individual thing. So it's a question, people have to say how they feel, about it. But I will say one thing that you're saying, it does, it is eternal. And in my book too, love is eternal. I've definitely witnessed that time and time again. And that's how I'm able to connect with people who have passed, because their love is eternal and they still want to connect with us, and they can. Yeah, so beautiful. So thank you, Danielle, so very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for interviewing me. Appreciate it.
Okay, alrighty, so
Thanks. Love you.
love you too.
Bye.